For many adventurers, it's the ultimate RV road trip, a legendary highway clinging to the ridges of the mountains that connects the wilds of Alaska to the heart of the Klondike. It's called the Top of the World Highway, and in this episode, we're taking you along for the ride. Welcome back, travelers. On this adventure, we finally meet our YouTube friends, drive the legendary Top of the World Highway, and visit a unique town that's only open for the summer. We leave Delta Junction for Tok, take the Taylor Highway to Chicken, and finally cross the Top of the World Highway to Dawson City. Good morning. Just a quick breakfast and a little computer time to start the day. Now we're ready to go see all the treats our harvest host, Delta Meat and Sausage, has to offer. A little rainy this morning. We're sure lucky we didn't park ourselves in the middle of a lake. This place is a true taste of Alaska. Delta Meat and Sausage is known for all natural local meats, but also for processing things you won't find just anywhere, like yak, elk, and reindeer. We're stocking up on some amazing local meats and sausages for the road. We're planning a full taste test for you later on. Harvest hosts are pretty rare this far north in Alaska, but this one is fantastic. We highly recommend Delta Meat and Sausage for an overnight stop. And we're back on the beautiful Alaska Highway, rolling south with our sights set on Tok. We're in no hurry on a beautiful day like this, just slowing down to really enjoy the scenery. And this is why you slow down. I mean, wow, how do you even put a view like this into words? This is the kind of day you dream of on the Alaska Highway. The massive Tanana Valley is unfolding before us, and this clear sky lets us see for miles and miles. Every view is just spectacular. I don't think we could ever get tired of this sight. These braided rivers in Alaska are just so unique. We could honestly stare at this incredible scenery all day long, but the highway is calling and it's time to get moving. Fall comes fast in the north, and that snow on the mountains is our first real sign. It's known as termination dust, and it serves a beautiful but firm reminder for travelers like us. It tells you that your time up here is finite, and the clock is ticking towards winter. In fact, that dust is the very signal that has most RV travelers heading south, aiming to cross the border before mid-September. Our destination for the night is the Tok RV Village, right in the heart of town. After a few weeks of dry camping, we're so ready for the simple luxury of full hookups. Unlimited water, power, and sewer access sounds absolutely glorious right now. But before we can get to Tok, we have to finish the drive. And that's proving to be a little difficult when the scenery just keeps doing this. Okay, for real this time. No more scenic stops until we get to Tok. We promise. Now, as you may recall, we were last in Tok back in episode 6. That feels like a lifetime ago. We didn't have time to do anything other than grab dinner back then, but this time we're overnighting there. And here we are, pulling into the Tok RV Village. This looks like a great spot. Let's see, the office should be right up here on the left. All right, let's head on in and get ourselves checked in. Whoa, this is definitely not your average camp office. There's an entire clothing store in here. We're heading for a spot out on the edge of the park. It's quiet this time of year, and while we could have likely gotten a spot without a reservation, it's always worth it for the peace of mind. This is a perfect spot for us. It's not massive, but it's big enough, and our timing is perfect to head out and meet Steve and Jane for dinner. Well, Fast Eddie's is certainly the place to be tonight. It's way more crowded than we remember it being before. And here we are, finally sitting down with Steve and Jane from Golden Anniversary Adventure. It's such a full circle moment for us. We watched every single one of their Alaska videos while planning this trip, and their advice has been invaluable. Dinner is incredible, but the night isn't over yet. Just when we thought it couldn't get any better, we spot some familiar faces from a world away. It's Scott and Allison from Jarhead and Ginger's Journey, who we haven't seen since we were in Quartzsite. These unexpected reunions are like a special kind of road magic. We're sure you'll agree that it's moments like this that make the RV lifestyle so incredible. There's nothing like starting your travel day with a fun little plumbing issue. If you've been with us since episode 2, you might remember this pesky little leak we found on our black tank flush system. Well, we have some time before checkout this morning, so I'm determined to finally get a closer look. And there's the problem, right where it connects to the wall. And nope, tightening it isn't helping. Unfortunately, I don't have a spare for this part, so this will have to be a battle for another day. For now, the ban on black tank flushes continues. Just got a call from Steve and Jane. They're ready to leave, so it's time for us to finish packing up and get on the road. There's nothing better than a 2-rig caravan on the open road. And right up here is where we leave the Alcam behind to turn on to the Taylor Highway, starting our real adventure up to Chicken. We had a bit of apprehension about this road. Back in Jade City, some folks heading south warned us that the frost heaves were horrible. But honestly, so far, it's been surprisingly good with just a few bad patches. As we travel this road, we're really following the ghosts of the past. This entire region was defined by the Klondike Gold Rush in the late 1890s. The original paths through these hills weren't roads, but muddy, treacherous trails packed with prospectors dreaming of striking it rich. You can almost feel the history in this landscape. This modern road, the Taylor Highway itself, was officially built in 1953 by the Alaska Road Commission. Its purpose was to connect the town of Eagle and other mining areas to the main Alaskan highway. Unlike most roads, the Taylor is not maintained or plowed in the winter, so it closes completely, usually from October to April. Its opening in the spring is a big deal, and it means travelers only have a small 5-month window each year to experience this incredible and remote part of Alaska. In fact, the road is scheduled to close in just a week or so from now. Just got a call from Steve on the radio. He spotted a nice pullout up ahead, so we're going to follow them in for a quick break. And what a perfect little picnic spot. It's really tempting, but we've got to keep moving down the road. We knew the fall colors would be good, but this is just unbelievable. We feel so fortunate to have timed this drive perfectly to witness this. Here's a little pro tip for remote travel. There's absolutely no cell service out here, so we always keep these two-way radios handy. They're perfect for caravanning with friends or for communicating while backing into a tough spot. Since Steve is leading the caravan right now, he's using the radio to give us a heads up on any really bad patches of road. And yep, he just called it. This is definitely one of those bad patches. Welcome back to the rain. The weather shifts so incredibly fast in this part of the world, you learn very quickly to be prepared for just about anything on these drives. And 66 miles after turning off the Alcan, here we are, officially entering the unique little town of Chicken. The story behind the name is pure Alaska. When the town was founded during the gold rush, the miners wanted to name it after the ptarmigan, the game bird that was a staple of their diet. The only problem? Spelling ptarmigan was too much of a challenge, so they reached a compromise and named it Chicken instead. The town is definitely colorful and also incredibly small. We figured we'd check out the downtown shopping mall and see what kind of high fashion the Chicken Mercantile Emporium has to offer. Well, how about that? If you're looking for a place to stay the night, they offer free camping for self-contained RVs right here in town. The merchandise in here is just as quirky as the town itself. You can find everything from local crafts to some truly classic t-shirts. Okay, I think it's officially time for lunch. Let's head over to the Chicken Creek Cafe and see what's on the menu. Oh wow, you can tell they do their own baking here. The smell is incredible. The menu looks simple but delicious, and they have plenty of fresh pies and pastries to go with it. All right, the orders are in. I went with a chili and a side of garlic cheese bread, while Dang is trying the chicken noodle soup. And you know we couldn't possibly leave without sampling the blueberry pie. Well, that hit the spot, and now we can go explore the rest of the town. Let's go around the corner here and check out the Chicken Gold Camp. They also have a small RV park, which is great if you prefer power and water with your camping. And it looks like they have a great little gift shop in here as well. You can't help but wonder about some of the interesting artwork they have around town. Okay, now we're heading for a true piece of Alaskan history. You can't leave Chicken without getting an up-close look at the massive gold dredge. This huge machine, a relic from the 1930s, literally chewed up the creek beds to sift out the gold from the gravel. And no trip to Chicken is complete without seeing its two iconic photo ops, the namesake statue and the signpost pointing to fun places like Lizard Lick, North Carolina, and Chicken Gizzard, Kentucky. Naturally, the group decided that the biggest guy should be the one to test out the old suspension bridge. I got dared to cross it, and let me tell you, wobbly is an understatement. This was a really fun stop for us. If it works for your itinerary, staying the night here is a great idea. Between the RV parks and the free camping, it breaks up the drive to your next destination perfectly. We, however, are going to continue east for a few more miles. There's a little campground just down the road, and we have a hunch some familiar faces might be waiting for us there. Our destination tonight is the Walker Fork Campground. We're following up on a clue from our friends, Dean and Lamonda, who texted Dang a few days ago that they were headed this way. We're not sure if they'll still be here, but we have to take a chance. We've now left the paved section of the Taylor Highway behind us, and we're officially on the gravel. But you know, it's actually in great shape. It looks like it was graded recently, and it's almost smoother ride than the broken pavement was. Now we're following along the beautiful 40-mile river. It's a designated National Wild and Scenic River, and this stretch through here is just absolutely gorgeous. This is a very remote stretch of highway, with just the occasional tiny outposts of civilization to remind you you're not completely alone. We can't help but wonder, do people live here all year? It's hard to imagine what life would be like in the dead of winter, with the highway closed in both directions and the temperatures dropping well below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Heck, even living out here in the middle of summer is a real testament to one's self-reliance and survival skills. But then you look around and you understand the reward. Getting to live in the middle of all this natural beauty, well, that's the payoff. So we've established the road is pretty smooth, but we're starting to notice another challenge. There's very little shoulder and not a lot of room to share the road, which gets complicated when you meet another vehicle. Still, it's always a little comforting to know you're not the biggest vehicle out here on the road. According to the map, we should be getting really close to the campground now, but you definitely can't trust the GPS out here. And indeed, there's the sign. The campground is coming up right here on the left. Our first impression of this campground is fantastic. It may be small with only 24 sites, but it's very well maintained for a BLM campground, and most of the spots are convenient pull-throughs. If there's one tiny improvement to be made, it's the branches. We're definitely taking it slow through here to avoid any new Alaskan pinstriping on the rig. The camping fee here is a very reasonable $12, or just half that with a senior pass. And get this, the checkout time isn't until 3 p.m. So, we're pretty sure Dean and Lamonda are in this campground. But there's a problem. We see two reflections that are so similar, we're not sure which is theirs. We're just gonna have to pick one and hope for the best. I guess we'll find out soon if we have the right neighbor. We're enjoying a wonderful dinner with Steve and Jane. And just when the day couldn't get any better, we find out we chose the right neighbor. It's Dean and Lamonda. They've just returned from their own day of exploring, so we share some of our dinner with them and start discussing our plans for tomorrow. Good morning from Walker Fork. Before we hit the road, we're going to explore the campground a bit and check out one of the local trails. The trail itself doesn't go very far. It mostly just provides easy access down to the river. That's perfectly fine with us though, since we have a long drive ahead today. And it looks like we have the perfect day for it. The skies are mostly clear, and while there's a little nip in the air, it's actually very comfortable. Now you just know there have to be some beautiful fish in that water. We're making a mental note right now. We have to come back here with our fishing poles someday. This is clearly a popular stop. We saw plenty of open sites on the way in, but it looks like most campers are gathered here in the main loop. We definitely recommend this little hike if you're staying at the campground. It's very short, but it's also incredibly scenic and beautiful. But now the real adventure begins. It's time to start our journey on the top of the world highway to Dawson City. And we're back on the Taylor Highway. Our little 2-rig caravan just got an upgrade. We're now rolling 3 strong on our way to Dawson. The road turns back to pavement here as we officially enter the top of the world highway. Our minds turn to the border crossing ahead. You have to wonder just how big a border station can be this far out in the wilderness. Well, now this is interesting. There's a little settlement just up ahead. I think we have to make a quick stop and check this out. We'll get the wagon circled up and head on into the shop. All right, so here we are in Boundary, Alaska. And this is Becky. She's the proprietor of this area here.
Hi, everybody.
Great to have you. So you've been here about 3 years or so?
Yes, we bought it 3 years ago. We put in our golden gift store first, t-shirts, hats, memorabilia. We put in our grocery store this last year. We're doing a miner's tool shed here.
Nice.
The next building over is going to be a church, and then the next building from that has a caved-in roof we're hoping to save and make a museum.
Oh, this is going to be awesome.
We do emergency gas, so we'll have a small gas station.
Excellent. This is great. Well, thank you. Becky also offered to let us look around at the rental cabins. For anyone driving this route in a car, this is a fantastic lodging option and a perfect midway point of the journey. You got a pretty nice view here too. Okay, ladies, I think you're going to get a kick out of this particular outhouse. I'm pretty sure they're making a run for the coveted Best Outhouse of the Year award from Better Homes and Gardens. Yes, this is quite the interesting stop. If you find yourself driving up the top of the World Highway, make sure to stop by. We're back on the road with one last stop planned before the border. Lucky for us, Steve and Jane have driven this road before, and they've clued us in to a must-do photo op just ahead. We're at Davis Dome Wayside, the classic spot for every traveler to get their picture with the Alaska sign. Now, we've seen a few Welcome to Alaska signs on our journey, but this one definitely wins the award for Best View. And of course, you know what has to happen at every Welcome to Alaska sign. It's sticker time! And we found our home. It's humbling being next to stickers from folks who traveled from halfway around the globe, like Angkor and Korea. And finally, we've reached the border. All our crossings into Canada so far have been a breeze, so we're hoping this one is just as easy.
How many on board?
Just two.
Two. And home is where?
We're in San Diego, California.
Okay, and how did you arrive in Alaska?
We came in, we came in here through
You drove
the
up.
highway, yeah. Not here, though, at the Alcan.
Okay. And what's your itinerary from here?
We're working our way down through eventually Banff, so we'll be here probably about 10 days, I think, total.
You're on vacation.
Yeah.
Do you have any firearms that you transported through Canada initially?
No.
Did you have any leftover firewood from Alaska?
No.
Did you bring something to leave in Canada? Your friends or family, mail, packages, gifts for anyone here? Okay, you're all set.
Great, thank you much.
Well,
So, in the end, it was another incredibly easy crossing. Apparently, a coherent travel history is not a requirement to get into Canada. We've got about 2 hours of driving left until we reach Dawson City, and this is supposed to be the grand finale. The views on the approach to Dawson are legendary. And a quick fun fact for you. That little border station back there was the Little Gold Creek Port of Entry. It officially holds the title of the northernmost land border crossing into Canada. We're pretty sure the rest of the highway, from this crossing all the way to Dawson City, is going to be unpaved, so we're settling in for the ride. From up here, you can really understand why this is called the Top of the World Highway. For most of its length, the road doesn't follow the valleys. It bravely clings to the very tops of the ridges, giving you these constant, breathtaking, panoramic views. But building a road up here is a constant battle against nature. The entire highway is built on permafrost, a layer of permanently frozen ground. Every summer, the top layer thaws, causing the road to shift and heave, which creates that wavy, roller coaster-like surface. That's why at these elevations, you don't see large trees. The soil is too thin and the roots can't penetrate the frozen ground below. It's an engineering marvel that a road even exists here, a thin ribbon of gravel laid across a fragile and powerful landscape. While the road has been good for us today, Steve and Jane have a much different memory of it. They drove it earlier in the season a few years ago and encountered large snowdrifts across the highway. Now you combine a surprise like that with a steep drop-off and you have a very dangerous situation. We're about 40 miles out of Dawson City now, and wait a minute, are those cyclists? You have to be kidding me. Seeing people on bicycles this far out is just incredible. Talk about hardy and self-reliant. We're getting so close to Dawson now, and Steve, having done this before, tells us there's one more iconic stop we absolutely have to make. This is it, the classic photo op for everyone finishing the Top of the World Highway. These rustic towers were built to look like an old fort, giving you the first real taste of the Gold Rush theme of Dawson City. There's a matching portal on the other side of Dawson, which we hope to see when we leave. But besides the great photo op, this area really serves as a welcome center, with plenty of helpful information for your stay. Wow, okay, now this is the grand finale of the Top of the World Highway. What an absolutely legendary view as you come down into Dawson City. So we're not in the town proper just yet, we still have the Yukon River to cross. Our campground is actually on this side of the river. In fact, it's called the Yukon River Campground. And we've made it. Now we're just keeping our fingers crossed that they have a few spots left, because we've heard this place can get pretty busy. This is dry camping, but the campground has excellent amenities, and it strikes that perfect balance we love. It's incredibly well kept, without losing any of its rugged, natural charm. Success! It looks like they have a few spots for all of us. We couldn't get sites right next to each other, but we're close enough, and this is going to work out perfectly. We want to say a huge thank you for coming along on this drive with us. If you're enjoying this series, hitting that like button really helps us out. And be sure to subscribe so you can join us for our next adventure. We're so excited to explore Dawson City, and that's all coming up in the very next episode. Until then, happy camping!